Past few days and how this is affecting people's mental health.
A new bill advancing in Florida that could mean a state takeover for Disney World.
Crazy weather this year. I'll tell you more later in the show.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Sean Smith.
And I'm Jordan Weir. Kansas City teen Ralph Yarl is in the hospital recovering after he was shot accidentally walking up to the wrong house. Police say Yarl was supposed to pick up his brothers at 115th Terrace, but mistakenly went to 115th Street instead. The homeowner, who hasn't been identified, was taken into custody and released without charges 24 hours later, due to a Missouri law that states a person must either be released or charged within a day. The community is protesting, stating they want justice for Ralph. The local police department is in the process of obtaining statements and gathering forensic evidence to further this investigation.
Outside of Kansas City, Alabama and Kentucky suffered fatal shootings over the weekend. In Alabama, at least 4 people are dead and 15 are injured after gunfire broke out at a Sweet 16 birthday party. In Kentucky, 2 people were killed and multiple injured at a park shooting. Reporter Shelly Molash has more details.
Please do not let this moment define what you think about the city of Dadeville and our fine people.
In Alabama, an emotional Sunday following a deadly mass shooting that was tied to a birthday celebration Saturday night, according to the Dadeville City Police Department.
What we've dealt with is something that no community should have to endure. I just ask for your patience. It's going to be a long process.
Due to the ongoing investigation, Alabama law enforcement officials have yet to release the ages of those killed.
From what I understand, had somebody in there that had a gun, somehow walked in with a gun and just opened up fire.
We're going to continue to work through in a very methodical way to go through this scene, to look at the facts, and ensure that justice is brought to bear for the families.
The Alabama shooting happened about an hour after shots were fired into a large crowd at a park in Louisville, Kentucky. At least 2 people were killed and several others are being treated for gunshot wounds, according to the Louisville Metro Police Department. Right now, Kentucky investigators are working to identify a suspect or suspects and determine a motive. I'm Shelly Malashi reporting.
According to the Gun Violence Archive, so far, the U.S. has suffered at least 164 mass shootings since the start of 2023. The escalation of gun violence has a ripple effect on Americans' mental health. New evidence from a CDC-funded study found that a mental health crisis line saw a spike in messages referencing guns just after the Uvalde, Texas shooting. The crisis line, as a nonprofit, serves nationwide, and while the study did not track the locations of each message, the CDC concluded that the negative impact was beyond just the survivors and the affected community. There is also a recent survey from the Kaiser Family Foundation showing gun violence has broadly affected Americans. Nearly 1 in 5 adults has had a family member killed by a gun, and roughly 1 in 6 have witnessed an injury from a gun.
The trial of the $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit by Dominion Voting Systems against Fox Corp and Fox News will continue its jury selection Tuesday. The selection was originally scheduled to take place on Monday, however, was delayed for reasons undisclosed. Once the jury selections are made Tuesday, jurors will hear opening amendment arguments from both sides. Dominion is alleging defamation over Fox News coverage of the 2020 election and vote rigging claims. Well, Jordan, I actually went outside today. It was hot.
Well, that was some great elaboration, Sean. This is why you did not get the weatherman job. But you know who did? Chris Goodwin. Let's take it over to him.
Thank you, Jordan. So we are getting closer to that summer weather, but we're not quite there yet. We are looking at 79 temperature degrees here in Denton, but trust me, we have a 25% humidity rating, so we're getting closer to there. We have 18 mile per hour wind speeds that are helping ease up on that humidity. Tonight, however, we are going to have clearer conditions, clearing up from that partly cloudy conditions today. It's going to be 66 tonight. Tomorrow, wind speeds will be up. It's going to be 21 miles per hour, and it's going to be partly cloudy, and it's going to feel like 74. It's going to be a okay day tomorrow. I'm going to have more for your weather at Full Looks. Just stay tuned later in the show. Back to you guys at the desk.
Cybersecurity is on the rise as online scammers have begun spreading fake software systems on social media.
That's right, Jordan. The software system claims to offer a time-saving way to send queries to the popular new ChatGPT AI system. Our live shot reporter, Madison Myers, has more on this story and how you can be on the lookout for these fake ads.
Another scam has reached the internet, this time involving fake advertisements preying on Facebook users. Now, these ads are promoting a fake ChatGPT system that is promoting systems that secretly steals victims' accounts. The hackers steal the cookies that let you access your online accounts and then sell them on the black market. They also may post crypto scams on your accounts, earning them thousands of dollars in just a few hours. Experts say that this is fairly common, and cyber criminals tend to switch to one lure from another. Facebook ads and ChatGPT just happen to be high in popularity, making them an easy target for online scammers. Now, according to Facebook spokesperson Margarita Franklin, she says the company is doing their best to detect these ads as well as training automated systems to block them. That's all I have for now. Back to you all at the desk.
Well, thank you, Madison. SpaceX has scrubbed the first launch of the most powerful rocket ever made due to a technical issue. SpaceX says the Starship with the super heavy rocket booster isn't quite ready to live up to its name. The company says a pressurization issue forced the Starship team to call off Monday's inaugural flight and conduct a rehearsal launch instead. SpaceX has a chance to try the launch again in as little as 2 days from South Texas over the Gulf of Mexico. Boasting a massive 33 engines, the Starship has been described by CEO Elon Musk as the vehicle that will send humans to Mars for the first time.
Well, we aren't quite on Mars yet, but here on Earth there are some pretty exciting events coming up to celebrate Earth Day, and you won't want to miss.
And worse news for those of us here on Earth, gas prices are on the rise again. Stay tuned for more.
Did you know you have access to video equipment like DVDs, video games, and cameras? That's right, you do. Come on down to Chilton Library and fulfill your media dream. Located on the bottom floor next to the student sculpture. Hope to see you there soon.
Hey girl, you know you look good. I like the way you move and groove. I'm not sure.
Protesters in southeast Oklahoma are calling for the resignations of several local leaders who allegedly made racist comments. Governor Kevin Stitt says he too wants the McCurtain County Sheriff, Commissioner, investigator, and jail administrator to step down. The McCurtain Gazette News says it recorded the officials expressing frustration that they couldn't hang black people and threatening the two reporters. At least 100 protesters gathered outside the county commissioners meeting earlier today, although the accused officials were not in attendance. An area hospital says it has been on lockdown in light of the demonstrations, and troopers have been in the area.
What is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Disney? I think of roller coasters, funnel cakes, and a great time spent with family. However, this week we are talking taxes. Our reporter Tristan Van Beem has more on how Disney is spending their tax season on this week's edition of Seen and Heard. Tristan.
That's right, Sean. Governor Ron DeSantis is at war with Disney. Let's take a look at this Disney drama. According to DeSantis, the Republican-controlled state legislature will advance a bill that is aimed to allow the state of Florida to take over the Disney-controlled land. Currently, this special tax district gives Disney control over the land around the Disney World Resort. Florida lawmakers were fighting against DeSantis' assigned representatives of the board who planned to help him take over the land from Disney. However, before this board could take office, the rest of the outgoing board stripped DeSantis' district of its powers and gave those powers directly to Disney. DeSantis claims these actions were improper, and the new bill will seek to reverse this action. Disney says it was legal since it was agreed to in 2 meetings that were advertised to the public. This whole conflict between DeSantis and Disney began when Disney took a position against a Florida law that forbids sexual orientation and gender identity from being discussed in classrooms. The company relies heavily on LGBTQ employees, and taking this action against the community would seriously hinder their relationship. That's all I have on this week's Seen and Heard. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Tristan. If you're looking for an artsy atmosphere but don't want to go all the way to Florida, we've got just the spot for you.
The Denton Community Market is in full swing, and it is the perfect combination of art, fun, and food. Our reporter Armando Berry had a chance to speak with some of the vendors and find out what makes this event so special. Let's check it out.
If you're in Denton and your refrigerator looks more like mine just because the healthier meals just seem more expensive, your solution may now be just a short drive away.
You have music, you have food, you have art, you have farmer-grown produce. It's just a wonderful place.
Denton's community market gives people the opportunity to gather and invest in not only fresher foods, but also in themselves.
You know, you're spending 20 cents more a pound or something, so you're not putting a whole lot more into it now, but if you take care of yourself now, you won't have to deal with spending more money on your health later.
Local farm owner Crystal Zuniga says what makes farm fresh foods special is the same ingredient in Grandma's recipe.
Say you're at your grandma's house and you're eating like an amazing meal and you're like, this tastes amazing, right? And it's because she put love into it, right? She believes in it, in providing you with that kind of stuff. It's the same thing.
Besides the food, the market has something unique to offer adults, kids, and even college students.
Honestly, I think the location, you know, there's like the farmers market, but then there's also historical houses, you know, like this one right here and other ones that you get to tour. So I feel like that's really different. My friend got a tarantula and then we got some like butterfly wings, so that was fun. But yeah, I also love looking at like the jewelry and the tote bags and stuff. Here's the tarantula.
It's a place that lets you enjoy Denton in your own personal way.
Like a really fun way to explore the city and like get your mind off of something else besides school.
I don't know about you, but I'm sold. I think I'm gonna head out there this weekend.
I'm not quite convinced yet. I heard there's gonna be rain later in the week. I'm not really looking to get wet. Chris, help me out here. What kind of weather can I look forward to this weekend?
Well, Sean, I'm here to put your worries to bed. We aren't going to have any rain this week. I'll tell you a little bit more about that when I get to the 7-day forecast. But looking across the local map, we're seeing some pretty common trends. We're looking at high 70s, low 80s all around the board. We're actually going to see Graham over here to my right at 83 degrees, and it's going to be the highest across everywhere. We're going to have Sherman and Sulphur Springs over here at 75 being the lowest. And then we're gonna have McKinney at 76, Dallas at 77, and Fort Worth at 79. Some pretty good weather all around. Now looking regionally, we're seeing still same trends. We're gonna look at Oklahoma being 80, Shreveport 76, Houston 74, and Austin at 74. Now, getting to the 7-day forecast, we're looking at pretty much sunny and cloudy conditions off and on throughout this week. We all know that tomorrow it's going to be a high of 75 with partly cloudy conditions. Wednesday through Thursday, we're going to keep those cloudy conditions, and we're going to have both days are going to be a high of 83. Now Friday through Saturday, we're going to have some sunny conditions, but we're not going to have too much warm weather. Saturday, we're actually going to have a low of 43, which is going to be the lowest of all week, and a high of 67. Sunday, we're going to have partly cloudy conditions. Now, the forecast isn't calling for a raincoat, but we're going to have a 21% chance of rain, and I have a high of 65 and a low of 50. And then Monday, we're not starting the week off too bright and cheery. We're going to have cloudy conditions with just a high of 67 and a low of 53. And now, the NOAA has issued an El Nino watch, anticipating it to take shape across North America in the next 6 months. El Nino is a weather phenomenon in which ocean temperatures in the eastern and northern Pacific Ocean are warmer than usual, and this occurrence can last up to 10 months. What this means for North Texas is we're going to see abnormal amounts of rain and possible flooding, with weather experts saying May will be the rainiest month of the El Nino season. As much as I love the rain, my hair is definitely not going to agree with the incoming humid weather. So guys, you guys might not be seeing me out too much this summer. Hopefully the rain doesn't hit us too hard this weekend so we can celebrate Earth Day outdoors. Ale, what events should we be looking forward to?
Thanks, Chris. With Earth Day around the corner, this means people all across the world will unite to promote environmental protection. Many events will be held here in Denton this weekend to celebrate Mother Nature. On Saturday from 1 to 2:30 p.m., you can enjoy a guided 3-mile hike around the Prairie Trail at the Clear Creek Natural Heritage Center. However, if you are unable to attend any events this weekend, next Wednesday there will be a UNT Earth Fest from 4 to 6 p.m. at the UNT Library Mall, where you can learn and spread environmental awareness. You can also find more events at DentonRecordChronicle.com and make sure to show Mother Nature some love this year. That's all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Isla. Earth Day comes around just in time for National Park Week. This year, finding your way around just got easier. That's because Google Maps is rolling out some new features to help you explore. The company says the updated app will help you navigate around the park and assist you with new things to discover. You will be able to access trail routes and walking and cycling directions. The updated version of the app will also allow you to download park maps that you can use without internet access. If you're interested in checking out the over 400 national parks, entrance fees to all parks will be waived Saturday, the first day of National Park Week.
If you're feeling lucky and looking for some extra cash, you may want to invest in a Texas lottery ticket.
And some exciting wins for Mean Green Sports. We'll have more when we come back.
I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, my friends.
No so fast.
This story is going to be awesome.
Can I see your voter registration, please? All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
Some unfortunate news for all of us planning road trips this summer. Gas prices are on the rise, and experts say they're about to get a lot worse. AAA reports the national average for a gallon of regular gas is currently $3.67, which is a price that has been already increasing for weeks. Experts claim that rising prices, OPEC production cuts, and rising demand are all to blame for the staggering increase prices at the pump.
To help combat demand related to those rising gas prices, the White House is teaming up with Uber and Zipcar to expand access to electric vehicles in the U.S. The Biden administration announced that round 2 of its EV Acceleration Challenge is intended to allocate 25% of Zipcar's electric vehicles to disadvantaged communities. The partnership will also help Uber reach its goal of 400 million miles driven by electric vehicles on its platform by the end of the year. The number of publicly available charging ports has grown by over 40%, while sales of electric vehicles since President Biden took office have already tripled, with the administration aiming for electric vehicles to account for 50% of all new vehicle sales by the year 2030. Jordan, have you been driving the speed limit lately?
Well, actually, I'm a passenger princess, so.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I can assure you that I haven't been pulled over and ticketed for driving 150 plus, but some drivers in Texas have been ticketed in 22 for doing just that. ntTV's Olivia Thompson has more on the fastest speeds ticketed last year. Olivia.
That's right, guys. Some Texas drivers in the region seem to disregard posted speed limits and instead make their own. So let's review the top 5 highest speed limits of 2022. Spots 5 through 2 all came in between 150 and 155 miles per hour. But the number one spot that takes the cake was at 201 miles per hour in a 75 mile per hour zone. That's over twice the posted speed limit. And the driver that was going 201 was in a Dodge Charger. Now that's the number one vehicle on the top 5 list of frequent vehicles caught making their own speed limits last year. The other vehicles include the Ford Mustang, the Chevrolet Camaro. Coming in at number 4 is the Chevrolet Corvette, and last but not least is the Yamaha YZF motorcycle. So please be sure to acknowledge and follow all the posted speed limits that you drive by, because you don't want to end up on 2023's top 5 list. That's all from me here, guys. So back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Olivia. Now on to tickets that you probably do want. Today's Texas lottery jackpot has jumped to $72 million after no winners were announced over the weekend. It is the 7th largest jackpot in Lotto Texas history and the 2nd largest in North America, right behind the multi-state Powerball jackpot, which sits at $235 million for today's drawing. Texas lottery officials say if you happen to end up with a winning ticket, sign the ticket and put it in a safe place. Then be sure to seek financial advice and call the Texas Lottery to schedule an appointment to claim the prize.
Well, the Rangers have also hit their own money ball with their new jerseys.
Too bad they came up a little short.
I'm sorry, can you pitch a baseball?
How about I pitch it over to Amanda with sports?
This is why you have no say.
I've got to say that's got to be up there with some of the worst first pitches of all time. But the Rangers won't be back in Arlington until Friday, but that doesn't mean Globe Life isn't seeing their fair share of fans this week. This morning they released their City Connect uniforms, paying homage to the minor league teams that paved the way for the Rangers. These include teams like the DFW Spurs, the Dallas Eagles, and the Fort Worth Panthers. Fans looking to see these in action can grab a ticket to this weekend's series against the A's or any other Friday home game throughout the season. After the break, I've got more on sports in the DFW area and what's going on right around here at UNT. Stay right here.
Did you know you have access to video equipment like DVDs, video games, and cameras? That's right, you do. Come on down to Chilton Library and fulfill your media dream. Located on the bottom floor next to the student sculpture. Hope to see you there soon.
Hey girl, you know you look good. I like the way you move and groove. I'm not sure.
What does Talons do?
So I am the Vice President of External Relations for Talons. That means that I basically oversee all the external committees. Our external committees entail our Model A, it's a Mean Green Machine. So they bring it to football games especially, so every game it's kind of there, every home game. The Model A is like a symbol of UNC pride, and it's a big tradition that we are so lucky to uphold and maintain. When people look at it, they see it, and they're like, oh, that's the Mean Green Machine. There must be a game today or something to ramp up school spirit for basketball, softball, volleyball, any of those things. We have amazing teams, so we just want to show school spirit for them. Bonfire Committee, which is in charge of putting together the bonfire every year for homecoming. It's kind of just a whole semester-long process up until Build Week that we have to put together and oversee and make sure safety regulations are followed and risk management is taken care of. Cannon Crew, which oversees and takes care of the cannon. They fire it at games, they take it to special occasions.
The Stars are suiting up for the first round of the playoffs. Stars coach Pete DeBoer has brought lots of changes to the Stars squad, and they're already ready to see the fruits of his labor pay out in the playoffs. He spent the season rebalancing lines, and that has resulted in significantly better play. The Stars finished the season 47, 21, and 14, good for second in the Central Division. The Stars take on the Minnesota Wild in what will be a best-of-7 series starting tonight in Dallas with puck drop at 8:30. UNT softball defeated the Charlotte 49ers over the weekend. This series was enough to rearrange the standings, dropping Charlotte into second place and moving the Mean Green into third. The star of the weekend was Michaela Smith. She batted .375 with 4 RBIs, 2 runs, and a home run, all of which was good for her first Conference Player of the Week award in her career. The rubber match served as head coach Rodney DeLong's 300th collegiate coaching win and puts the Mean Green at 26-17 as they prepare to take on SEC opponent Missouri this weekend. UNT women's golf has won its 3rd consecutive CUSA championship this past weekend at PGA National, holding a 3-shot victory over second-place Western Kentucky. It's the first three-peat for a Conference USA team since South Florida won 3 straight from 1998 to 2000. Individually, the team was led by Patricia Sinungalang, who finished alone second at even par for the tournament. This means that the Mean Green will take their 3rd trip to the NCAA Regionals and go out on top as they make their way to the American Athletic Conference. That's all I have for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Amanda. While I may not be a sports person, I do love music.
Well, I have good news for you then. The local Nebraska man has begun turning old military history into new music. Phil Whitmarsh is using deck wood from old battleships to make electric guitars, and it's all going for a good cause.
It started as a passion project during the darker days of the pandemic, taking pieces of history and making them sing. Now, plenty of blood, sweat, and splinters later, what started as deck wood from a ship that saw action in both world wars will make music wherever it goes.
It's so gratifying to see the final product and to know that it is an instrument that can be played and enjoyed, that it takes the life cycle of the material to the next level.
They don't look or sound like your typical glossy music store guitars, and that's the point.
Part of the beauty of these instruments are the nail holes. They are the cracks and holes that have been filled in.
For Phil, this work started with a hypothesis that the rich history of a piece of wood can change its sound. He's working on a guitar with wood from Oak Island, an area scoured for treasure and believed by some to be cursed, to a similar effect.
Whether it comes from factory wood or print shop wood or a homestead, the spirit and the memories of that place and those faces go right into the hard drive of the wood, if you will.
Phil has 2 guitars ready, and at least one will get auctioned off to help the USS Texas as it undergoes $35 million worth of repairs.
Thank you for watching ntTV Nightly News. Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television. Now Tristan.
A one, 2, 3, 4.